Good morning, fellow traders. It's Jim from JAGfx and it is Monday the 17th of October 2016. Welcome to the weekly or start of the week video analysis of all the pairs that I'm currently trading. Just a couple of announcements. If you've read the post from this morning in the Facebook group, we've hit the 200 members, so welcome new members and thanks everyone for being a part of the group. Good achievement, that one. I remember when we got up to 100 and now we've doubled it. Life's good. Also, in the Facebook post, I mentioned that I will be no longer trading on the Pepperstone account on the method 2 out of the high probability book. I just want to concentrate on some EAs on that account. So once I wind up these current trades on the Pepperstone, I'll just concentrate on the Go Markets account with the method number 1, which is the straightforward, easy, safe way to trade. So let's get into it. Let's have a look what we've got here. First up, Aussie New Zealand, nothing happening. Aussie USD stuck between those two trend lines. Possible buy signal coming up, got a blue dot in the MACD Platinum, and we're with the MAs. It's getting a bit range bound, the Aussie. It's around that sweet spot, that 76 cents. That's, I think the Australian government likes it around that level, so they tend to try and keep it there. Euro Aussie. There was a sell trade there, but the MACD wasn't above the 0 level, so it would have been a nice trade. If that red dot was above the 0 level, that would have been a nice trade to take, but not to be. Euro Canadian. All right. You see this trend line along the bottom here. That's what I mentioned on my post this morning and why I closed part of my position. I'll just expand it. It came down, hit this trend line. I sold it just near that low there. So I closed out just near that low somewhere. So my stop's at break even. I think that was about 200 pips there, so that's all good. And as you can see, MACD's heading down nicely, so it's all good there. Euro Pound. In two trades, in a buy still. That buy's dragging on a bit. Stops nice and tight. Pepper's in two sell trades here. So there's one entry there, second entry on this line here. So the yellow dashed line is overall break even, and the bottom yellow dashed line is, I think, 500 plus pips. So that's what we're sort of looking at. As I said, I'm winding up these Pepperstone trades, so just let them finish and see how we go. Euro Yen in a sell still, going sideways. Peppers in trade, going nowhere, but still short. Euro USD, Pepper in two trades. There's a break even up there. So we really need another blue dot down here, and we'll hopefully get a turnaround eventually and head back up. It broke out of this wedge sort of pattern here and it broke down nicely, so I'm sure plenty of people would have picked up that sell trade there. Pound yen, still in the sell from back here, as is Pepper. Stops there, so it's going well. Pound in a sell, same as the pound yen. Both Pepper and Go. Stops down here, so locking in lots of profit there. It's good. New Zealand came down to good old 240 LMA and bounced here. Now whether it stays there or heads back up, who knows? It might continue on down, but we have a blue dot on the MACD Platinum, so I'd expect a bit of a bounce up, possibly. Swiss franc broke through this trend line here to the upside. It's doing the opposite to the euro as it normally does, so you might get a pullback, might roll over, get a red dot in the MACD, red dot in the QMP. It might roll back to this trend line here and bounce up again. It's just guessing, but that's the way it would go, I would think. It looks like the look at the three MAs getting very close, very tight. USD Canada, my good old favourite Canadian pair. I stopped out on the go, how odd. And Pepper's in trade number 1 still from back here. I could have taken a second trade on this today's open, and I might still look at it on the pepper just to try and get me out of this trade. As I said, I'm winding down the pepper. There's a bit of divergence here. Let's have a look across this top here. That's a higher highs there, and here we've got sort of lower highs. So I'm still thinking it's going to go down. This trend line is going to hold, I think. Here, look, I'd like to come down to this trend line here, but it's been a real hard pair to trade. But we'll see how it goes. I might look at taking a second pepper trade if it rolls over a little bit and heads back down. USD Japan in a sell and not looking that good. It's going against me. It's a pretty tight trade. Hoping this high would hold, but it looks like it might break through to the upside. A few of these yen pairs, you know, like I've taken a lot of yen pairs sells, and a lot of people will say, well, it's heavily correlated, but that's not always the case, because you can remember there's two currencies in each pair, so the other currency can affect the actual pair itself too, which we'll see shortly. Aussie Swiss franc heading up, nothing much happening at the moment. There's no opportunity to get in a trade there. Aussie Canada, Aussie Canadian, sitting on parity still. This is the one I closed, heading down. Yeah, who knows what it's doing, but it's definitely a sticking point at 1.0000. Canadian Swiss franc had a nice little bounce up, hit this trend line here. Now it looks like it's rolling over again. So if I'd be tempted, if it was a sell trade, I'd be tempted to take that. Now Canadian yen, Canadian Japanese yen. I've stopped out on my sell. Just expand the chart a bit, drawn this trend line here. We've got a blue dot here on the MACD Platinum now. So ideally we need another red dot on MACD Platinum. And if this red dot in the QMP filter holds, get a roll over to the downside through that trend line, and I'll take another sell there. That's the plan. Swiss franc, Japanese yen, another yen pair in a sell trade going against me. We've just got to hold on to it for now, be patient. Euro, Swiss franc. Look, there was technically a sell trade there this morning on the open. My only concern is I'm not real. It's close to the MACD level, like it's right on the zero level, and to me that's normally when I start moving my stops in tight. If it goes up a bit higher and starts to drop again, I might take that sell trade. I'm just not going to take it at the moment. As you can tell, this pair doesn't move that much. It's not so it gives you plenty of time to make decisions generally. Unless it was January the 15th, 2015, and it moved a lot. Have a look at the charts when you get a chance. Euro NZ is a new trade today. Took the sell in this level here. Red dot. Already got a red dot in the MACD Platinum. Just broke that trend line. This blue line up here is sort of holding that high there. So it's with the MAs, even though they're flattening out a bit. It's not a bad trade. My only concern, as I said in the post, is the stops are a long way away. But keep in mind, this is a pair that can move a long way too. So you've got to put in perspective. Big stop sometimes equals big profits if it goes in my favour. But we're on a short here, so we've just got to sit tight and let's see how it pans out. Pound Aussie in a pepper trade still, stops at that red dotted line. It's just pound's not sure where it's going. We've got the blue dot, the MACD Platinum, so I'll just keep on tightening that stop up. Nothing in the pound Canadian, just a blue dot down here, so I'll just bring that across so it gives me a heads up. Yeah, nothing happened. Pound Swiss, I'm in an old trade, another account for that one, but it's blue dot there also, so I'll just move that across. Pound New Zealand, no trades, same deal, blue dot in the MACD Platinum. So there's a possibility it's going to reverse. What else we got here? New Zealand yen. Nothing happening here. We have a blue dot. So I think one of the members was in a took a buy in here, and it would have been on, yeah, blue dot, took the buy here, went up 131 points, but then it dropped down about 80, 90 points or whatever. Now it's on the way back up again, so it's going to work out all right. Just be careful, this trend line up the top here, this blue, light blue trend line, so it's a fairly significant one. And Aussie yen stopped out, and this is what I was saying about the correlation on the yen pairs. It's not because of the yen moving, it's because of the Aussie moving. The Aussie shot up during the week, which has stopped me out here, and I've got a red dot still, so it might roll over, break that trend line, and because I've still got a valid sell signal, I would take that. So we'll just wait and see. As I said, we're in pepper, and that's about it, guys. There's not many trades on, a lot of older trades, and a few of the yen trades new, but other than that, I'm not going to make too much comments on regard to the use of the EAs. You'll see a couple of spreadsheets attached to my main spreadsheets that I keep a tally of trades, so that's just for my own records, but if you guys have a look at it and you want to know more about it, let me know. It's just early days, just testing the waters with a couple of EAs I've got. They're commercial EAs I've purchased from other people, and just to give you a bit of an idea, they can be used where if I can identify a trend or a trade direction on a high time frame, I can drop down to a lower time frame and use these EAs to take multiple trades with that high time frame trend, if that makes sense. Other than that, all good. And as I said in my Facebook post, I welcome interaction or people's comments on the Facebook group. Doesn't have to be about my method, it could be anything. I always like to hear what other traders are thinking or how they're trading. I'm a bit of a system junkie, as you can probably tell, so I like to see what other people are doing. So should be a good week, and there's a couple of talking heads talking during the week, but the big news seems to be the Canadian interest rate. They're not expecting a change, but if you're a day trader and trading Canadian pairs, just make sure you're aware of that.